Aho everyone. Welcome back to a brand new Planet Coaster 2 video, and thank you for tuning in. This is XD Warrior checking in, and yep, you heard it right. We're back in the park after a couple of weeks, or maybe even a month, of uploading some wild Fortnite challenges. But hey, quality takes time, and this Planet Coaster project? It's been cooking. Let's jump into everything I've done behind the scenes. Hammer and wrench first up. I added a pre-built stage one grabbed from the Frontier workshop. It just looked too good to pass up. Then, I customized the top with a sign to make it feel more unique to the park. Right behind that, I decided it'd be perfect to tuck in a storage and maintenance area for the employees and staff. And yes, the staff building is secretly nestled in there too, winking face. I also added a staff-only path, and later on, we'll check out how this whole area glows at night. Moving onto the main street, I spruced it up with a garage area and a maintenance shed near the resort. Then, we started dreaming big. I teased a new RMC lift hill concept inspired more by Iron Gwazi than Steel Vengeance. It's all metal, sleek, and intimidating. While dreaming, I also showed off two ideas for coasters I want to add: a classic inverted coaster and an RMC single rail monster. But the real star? I teased the tallest lift hill yet. A massive B&M Hyper with Giga Coaster DNA and splashdown moments like Diamondback at Kings Island. Just wait till you see it in motion. Now let's dive into today's build, the Intamin Launch Coaster, inspired by the now gone but never forgotten Wicked Twister at Cedar Point. Paint palette. When I first started designing this coaster, I was chasing a memory. Wicked Twister's frantic, launch-powered spikes had left a mark. Not just in steel and paint, but in feeling. I wanted to honor that legacy, not by copying it, but by reimagining its energy in a new form that could live on in this park. So, I opened my toolkit and began shaping the ride. The first phase was all about the station. I initially chose blue walls, crisp, modern, reflective of Wicked Twister's own color palette. But as I studied it in-game, it didn't feel right. It lacked bite, that signature jolt that lets you know, this ride. Out went the blue. In came concrete. Cold, raw, industrial. I laid it down at the base of the station, giving it a foundation that felt as aggressive and grounded as the launch system that would roar through it. With the base established, I focused on flow. Getting people on and off the ride efficiently isn't just good design, it's immersion. So I sculpted an entrance that drew guests inward like moths to flame. It winds slightly, giving a clear view of the launch track, building anticipation. Near the exit, I strategically placed storage bins, because, come on, safety's part of the fantasy too. The support stanchions came next. These weren't just structural, they defined the skyline of the station itself, adding vertical rhythm that would be echoed by the ride's glass siding later. I didn't want generic fencing. No way. For this ride, it had to be metal chains. They hang slightly loose in places, adding a visceral sense of unpredictability. Their shimmer and low light? Perfect. The way they clink when animated riders brush by? Chilling. These chains say, you're not in line for a kiddie coaster. They introduce a low-level tension from the moment guests enter the queue zone. Next up, the roof. I was tempted to use something prefab. It's easy, convenient, but it wouldn't respect the story I was building here. So I returned to a design I'd used before, a wood-based roof with slight overhangs. It worked for a while. But then I had a revelation. With the Giga Coaster on the horizon, every element of this park needs to evolve. So I made a commitment, right then and there, no more prefab roofs. From here on out, it's all custom pillar design, for this station and beyond. Because a park like this, my park, deserves nothing less. Once the roof sat tight, I added the borders to each support. Minor in appearance, maybe, but critical for polish. Then, I closed the gaps between them with glass panels. Full transparency, pun intended. Smirk. Why glass? Because I want guests, both in-game and viewers like you, to see the chaos within the ride. To witness the train screaming through that launch track, eyes wide as the blue streak blurs past them. It's containment that doesn't contain. A window into a storm. Fire. Now onto the queue. Designing a good queue is like scoring a movie. You don't notice it when it's done well, but you feel it. I wanted that kind of experience. I used a blend of hand-built fencing for that crafted touch, and pre-built queue paths for functionality. The queue snakes around the main launch area, giving guests multiple angles of the ride before they board. A taste of the intensity to come. The final loop of the queue connects directly to the park's main walkway, offering a smooth transition for guests exiting the ride. Just in time to snag a churro, maybe, and ride again. Then came the name. This ride needed a title that sounded like a battle cry. Something primal, something that burned, and there it was. Inferno's Fury. Fire. It's not just about fire. It's about rage, acceleration, power barely held in check. That name hit me like a gut punch, and I knew it was the one. I printed the name across the glass panels in stylized lettering, flame-stroked font with red-orange gradients. Around the entrance, I layered ride signage, height requirements, ride rules, thrill ratings. Every visual element reinforces the identity of Inferno's Fury. Everything feeds the atmosphere. Scattered around the station are nods to a post-apocalyptic fire zone, broken gearboxes, warning strobes, burnt signs barely legible. I even snuck in a maintenance hatch near the back, a little Easter egg for the lore nerds among us. But I wasn't done. I surrounded the ride with natural chaos. Jagged rocks, sparse, wind-blown trees, orange-red lighting bathing everything at dusk. Some of these details barely make it into the final cut of the video, but if you pause at the right moment, you can spot them. A cracked cement walkway leads past the station's back wall, suggesting long-term wear and seismic activity. It's not just design, it's backstory. This coaster exists in its own mythos. Thematically, it's not just a launch coaster. It's a creature in a cage of glass, barely held in place. Every ride cycle, another escape attempt. I added subtle lighting effects to the queue rails, pulses of red and orange that flicker faster as riders approach the station. LED strips run under parts of the launch track, syncing with the acceleration audio for a layered sensory hit. And yes, I built a control booth. It's functional looking, with foam monitors and tiny green-red indicators to simulate ride operation. There's even an emergency power shutoff box on the exterior wall with "Authorized personnel only" stenciled in bold. I live for those details. Some elements, like the hidden soundscape speakers tucked behind rocks to emit underground rumble noises, didn't make it into the video. And yet, their presence enhances the feel of the ride experience tenfold. There's a tiny break room tucked behind the station wall, complete with benches and soda machines. Not visible, not necessary, but it makes this ride feel real. Because that's what sets a great build apart from a good one. Believability, cohesion, layers. Now that Inferno's fury is screaming through the track, I'm already looking to what's next. That classic inverted coaster? It's going to dive into a rock canyon with mist effects and near-miss elements designed to freak people out, in the best way. And the RMC single-rail monster? I've started sketching a triple drop intro that throws guests out of their seats before the first inversion even hits. Expect weird angles, unexpected airtime, and precision banking that only RMC can deliver. But again, the real titan is on the horizon. The B&M Hypercoaster. The Giga DNA Beast. The one that climbs higher than anything this park has ever seen, then descends into splashdowns that leave every camera soaked. I'm planning hand-built catwalks, custom brake runs, lift hill framing that mimics real-world engineering patterns, complete with bolts and cable housing. This is gonna be next level. Once these projects roll out, I'm taking a hard creative turn. Western theme park. That's right, rust, dust, and dynamite. We're talking wooden coasters with lift chains that sound like an old freight train. Shanty towns as queue zones. Cacti, outlaws, and saloons doubling as shops and ride stations. And thanks to the June update for Planet Coaster 2, I've got all new pieces to play with, animated wildlife, layered terrain stamps, and reactive lighting that lets scenes change by time of day. The storytelling possibilities just blew wide open, and trust me, I'm running through that door. So that's it for today's build. Inferno's Fury is live. XD Warrior out.